It's Tuesday, December 14th, 2010. I'm Kevin McShann, and this is the McShann Sports Beat Report.
Since you announced which teams would be grouped together in divisions with one another starting last year, there has been a lot of speculation, a lot of discussion as to what the divisions would be named. What were the criteria that you used to arrive at the names which we're about to reveal?
Well, we thought long and hard about creating these divisions and what principles underlied selecting certain teams for certain divisions. And as you recall, it was competitive equity, number one, and number two was maintenance of tradition, historical rivalries, and number three was geographics. And so we really felt like, given the fact that geography was a third consideration, there was no way we could put geographic labels on these two divisions. So east, west, north, south went out the window. The other thing is that we have a treasure trove of great leaders and great players, and great presidents and faculty and so on. But we really didn't think we could just tie in to two well-known names in the conference without really, defining ourselves in a very narrow way. So what we've decided to do is really look to our history and look to our future and try to identify a couple of names that will resonate for people who have followed the Big Ten and people who will follow the Big Ten into the future decades.
So legends and leaders, those are the divisions. What was the story that you're hoping to convey with those names?
Well, Dave, we're blessed by being the oldest intercollegiate conference in the country, founded in 1896. We have 220 former players in the College Football Hall of Fame. We are blessed to have 15 Heisman Trophy winners, the first one in Jay Berwanger from the University of Chicago. We also, with the addition of Nebraska, inherit their legacy, and they have 3 Heisman Trophy winners themselves. So our foundation is our history, and so we want to honor that history and that tradition. Going forward, you really look at our mission, and our mission is about competition, but it's also about building future leaders. And certainly many of the people have learned to lead through their interface with intercollegiate athletics. But our goal, if we're to sustain this enterprise in the way that we can all feel good about it, is to continue to focus on the building of future leadership through education and competition. And so that's why we wanted to honor that objective by naming the conference divisions Legends and Leaders.
So those are the conference names, the Legends Division and the Leaders Division. The Legends Division is Iowa, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Northwestern. The Leaders Division then is Illinois, Indiana, Ohio State, Penn State, Purdue, and Wisconsin. And those two, the winners of the Legends and the Leaders Division, will play for the Big Ten Championship starting next year, December, in Indianapolis.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. The Big Ten Conference has always been noted for their physical and hard-nosed brand of football, and celebrated for their tradition, and those were the two main criteria as the conference looked to realign itself into divisions in preparation for their first conference championship game next December. The Big Ten will officially add 12 teams to all sports next September when the Nebraska Cornhuskers officially join the conference. The Cornhuskers agreed to join the Big Ten earlier this season and bolt from the Big 12 Conference, in addition to adding a 12th team and a championship game. The conference has also decided to add 18 postseason awards in football, all named after two Big Ten legends. Some of the more prominent awards include the Stag Paterno Championship Trophy, which will be given to the winner of the conference championship game, while offensively, the Offensive Player of the Year will receive an award bearing the names of Otto Graham and Eddie George. The Defensive Player of the Year will take home the honor of the Bronco Nagurski and Charles Woodson Defensive Player of the Year award, while the Hayes Schembechler Coach of the Year trophy will pay homage to the Coach of the Year in the Big Ten. However, not everyone is in favor of the reconfigured Big Ten and their new logo, which was also revealed on Monday. The College Football Live crew from ESPN, featuring Eric Casillas, Jesse Palmer, and Ed Cunningham, explain why they're not in favor of the new names of the two divisions and the new logo.
Now, speaking of Wisconsin and staying in the Big Ten, the new Big Ten logo is out. They now have 12 teams, and the divisions are out as well. Jesse Palmer lobbied. He's Canadian. He wanted to be called the Norris and the Campbell divisions, or at least the Lakes and the Plains, which I thought was pretty interesting. That was not bad.
Yeah, just something different. It can't be East-West because of the geographical differences between these teams. But check out the names then.
I'm in shock.
The legends and the leaders.
I don't. Are we sure this is final? This isn't an alpha run?
No, it's not a mock-up.
Likes it?
Here's what you need to know. Quick way that I'm remembering it, the M's and the N's in Iowa are on one side, everybody else is on the other side. So Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern. The 5 M's and N's with Iowa, the other 6 on the other side. They'll play in the Big Ten Championship game, the 2 winners, December 3rd, 2011, Lucas Oil in
What is
Indy.
the 1 in the Big? Because the Big Ten was 11. They had the little 11 hidden.
Yeah, that was
there.
which was cool.
Now there's just 1. Did you see a 2 in there?
What if you're Ohio State or Penn State? 2 programs with unbelievable tradition, multiple national championships. You can't be a legend?
And
gotta be
by
a
the
leader.
way, Nebraska is a Big Ten legend. They've never played a game in the conference. Just saying.
Look, I don't like it. I think it's not going to work very well. And here's the reason: is real quick. Name the teams in the Atlantic Division of the ACC. Real quick, name the teams in the Coastal. I know that they didn't divide these teams east and west or north and south, but when you make a choice like this, you stress the fan to figure out: wait, are they a legend or are they elite? Just stick to the basics. I think they're a little too far over their skis with this.
Michigan's fight song, they sing
Leaders and best. And they're in the legend.
But they're a legend.
But you're a legend.
I'm just saying.
It's just confusing.
If it starts with an M or an N, or is Iowa, you're on one side. Everybody else.
Here's what I will say. I do think that they divided it very equally.
Yes.
I think these divisions are great. I think they put a lot of thought into that.
Keep a lot of rivalry games too.
I don't get the graphic art. I don't get the names. They just don't make
We'll figure it out. We'll get used to it. It'll be fine. They'll play football that season.
Doug Kosh of 97 won the ticket, who also serves as the sideline reporter for the Michigan Wolverines radio broadcast every Saturday, says that the conference's logic behind the names for the 2 divisions doesn't make any sense.
I have no idea what the Big Ten was thinking when they decided to name their 2 divisions the Leaders and the Legends. Can you see the headlines about the Leaders of the Leaders division? I mean, seriously, did they give this any thought? You got the Leaders of the Legends, the Leaders of the Leaders, who's going to win the Leaders, battle amongst Leaders of the Leaders. It doesn't make any sense. I understand they're trying to pay homage and make the conference seem bigger and more prestigious than it actually is, but who would have complained about the Lakes division and the Plains division? Not that those were the be-all and end-all, just because it was my idea. But the bottom line is, they've confused people more than they've helped. Every award now has 2 names. They're all hyphenated. I could understand if the Big Ten Championship Trophy was the Amos Alonzo Stagg Trophy, or the Stagg Trophy. But the Stagg Paterno Trophy almost sounds like an adult video name. I don't know. When it's all said and done, maybe we'll get used to it. I hope my kid grows up dreaming of someday being the winner of the Cole Clark Award. I'm Doug Karsh.
I think we can all agree that the conference did a relatively good job of preserving all the rivalries and traditions that the Big Ten has been known for decades, while we finally applaud Jim Delany and his staff for scrounging up and adding a 12th team, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, in order for the conference to be a part of the conference championship fiesta and all the perks that come along with it. They missed the boat on the opportunity to give their two divisions an iconic stamp which people can identify with for years to come, and it's a shame that one foolish mistake will tarnish all the good work that has been done. Kevin McShann, Sports Beat, reports.